Hello and welcome to Printing for Profit episode 3. In today's episode we're going to be printing some lovely mouse pads. Different designs. Ooh. So, mouse pads. We call them mouse mats in the UK, but apparently you call them mouse pads in the US. So, as the majority of my audience are from the US, we'll call them mouse pads for this episode. So, let's get started. Mouse pads come in packs. They're usually 10, 12 to a pack. They're a fairly standard size. They do vary a little bit in design, thickness, etc. But this is a fairly common size. So, I got these from Amazon. You can get them from many different places. I'll leave a link in the description, obviously. But so mouse pads, it's basically it's a neoprene material with a white printable sublimation surface. Now, the problem with mouse pads is, and neoprene particularly, is that they actually hold quite a bit of moisture. They look dry, but actually there's quite a bit of steam comes off when you heat these. So the first thing is to get rid of that steam, otherwise the moisture will affect the transfer of the sublimation ink. So first job is to pre-press these to get rid of some of that steam. We'll do that now. Or press is heated up. You take a second piece of Teflon just to protect the surface. And one little tip is to prevent it curling. When it comes out of the press, it'll naturally curl up, and if the black neoprene surface touches the white printable surface, it will spoil it. So we want to avoid that. So I'm going to apply a few magnets on the side of this Teflon sheet. I'll give you a close-up. And what that does, it basically creates a hinge for your Teflon sheet. So we can tension that sheet across the surface and use a couple more magnets just to hold that side as well. So that'll stop the pad trying to curl when it comes out of the press. So if you press it for about 30 seconds, that'll take out some of the moisture, and it'll make the printing process easier and more accurate. You'd be surprised how much steam comes off these things. Let's have a look in a few seconds. So that's approximately 15 seconds. If the printing time is 60 seconds, I recommend 30 seconds pre-press. Let it cool and then pre-press it at least once more until most of the steam is gone. So let's have a look. That's about 30 seconds. So you can see some of the steam rising there, but the mat has been prevented from curling by this locked down piece of Teflon. So we'll give it a 10 seconds, 20 seconds to cool a little bit, and then we'll do it again. So while we're waiting, just to remind you that if you're a member of the channel, you get templates and plans and designs completely free. It's part of your membership. If you're not, you can get them on the website. I'll leave a link in the description, or we'll pop up a little one here. Visit hobbyblocks.com to get access to all of these templates. Let's get back to the press. So, pressed again, another 30 seconds or so. While we're waiting for that, we will get ready for the next stage, which is going to be preparing the mats to be printed. So that's again another 10 seconds or so. Again, while we're waiting, can't think of what to say, so I'll blah 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 blah. Back to the press. Okay, so if we just take off, watch, it will be very hot. Can you see the steam Now it's going to tend to want to curl, so again I'm going to take my cooling block, have that ready, just to take away some of the heat before I remove the Teflon sheet. The cooling block absorbs a lot of the heat very quickly and cools things down very quickly, so we can now take that away. There we have our mat, so just take it out. It will be hot, but just give it a waft in the air to cool it down a bit, and that should be ready for printing now. So let's take our design. I'm going to put this over here on my heat mat. Before we do that, one little tip is to take a lint roller and to just lightly brush the mouse mat before you print it. That takes off any little specks of dust, specks of fluff, which may affect the print. So there we go. So let's take our design, put that on our mat, zoom in a little bit for you. There we go. Put our mat, and then taking our mouse pad, just place that print side down on top of the design. Like I said, just trying to center it. They do tend to shrink a little bit when you heat them, so just align it so that the border around the mat is fairly even, and then just take some of your heat resistant tape and make sure that the mat pad is stuck firmly against the printed page. You don't want it to move. If it moves, it will blur. It's called ghosting. You want a nice crisp image, so you must not let the mat move during the heating transfer process. I'm probably overdoing it with the tape, but again, it can be quite problematic to print mouse pads. So I'd rather waste a few pence worth more of tape and do the job first time than wasting a whole mouse mat. So next job, the second piece of butcher paper. I'm going to turn the whole thing over so that the paper is on the top, which is going to press against the hot mat. Put that in our press, and again using our hinged Teflon sheet, if we tension that as best we can over the surface, tuck it under, a couple of magnets just to hold it there, and that'll keep everything nice and flat. And there we go. So mouse mats, remind myself, 204 degrees Celsius. I'll put a conversion on the screen for you for our American viewers at 60 seconds. So let's press that. Medium pressure. The settings are printed on a little bit of paper that's on the side of the template. If you get the template, all the instructions and settings are there for you. So that's pressing. We'll come back when it's finished and have a look. Okay, so it's a few seconds to go. We'll listen for the beep and it's all done. It's done. Don't forget, put your hot gloves on. Not your hot gloves, your heat resistant gloves, because this will come out extremely hot. And you don't want to burn yourself. Trust me, I've done it before. It's not nice. Yes, I can hear you. Again, you can still see the steam. Still rising, but you see how this Teflon sheet is preventing that curl. It's trying to curl, but this is holding it reasonably flat. If it curls too much, it'll touch and spoil the whole design. So we'll give it a few seconds to cool. We'll take it out and then we'll see whether it's worked. I think it's ready. Let's have a look. So we'll take off our little magnets and very carefully peel back our sheet I'm going to very quickly just put on my cooling plate. That'll take up some of the heat very quickly and make it more safe to handle. It'll also flatten it out. So there you go. So let's just bring it back on to the cooling mat, the heat mat. Give it a little press. It's a very simple tool, but it's very useful. Again, I'll leave links in the description for you if you want to get one. Very inexpensive, but it makes handling things quicker. Okay, so let's have a look. Has it worked? Let's peel off. Right, take off my gloves and let's see what we've got. Ooh, look at that. Wow. Isn't that amazing? Perfect print. Isn't that brilliant? So there we have it. Our beautiful mouse pad. Mouse mats, depending on where you are. That's nice and cool. So you put your mouse on there and it gives you a nice surface to use your mouse on. So there we go. A mouse pad, mat, pad, whatever you want to call it. Didn't take very long. Apart from the moisture issues, they're very simple to do. If you're batch doing them, I suggest batch pre-pressing them, dry them out as best you can. One small thing to remember is that when you take out the moisture, the pad shrinks a little bit. So it might be slightly smaller than the outline of the orange border on the design. So every pad's different, every manufacturer's different, but that's mouse pads. Pretty simple. Again, very easy to make, very profitable, easy to sell, easy to post. In the UK, thickness determines how expensive postage is. So very thin, so it can go as a large letter, and therefore very cheap to post. So that's mouse pads. Next episode will be fridge magnets, so something to look forward to. If you've got any questions, please do leave a comment in the description below. I reply to every comment. And if you want to become a member, please click the join button or scan the code to join. So until next episode, thanks for watching. Bye bye for now.